don't ask us to come in town and you got about 5 people sitting around at a table at fucking, Showbiz Pizza or some shit.
Right.
Make it an event. Because if I'm not getting involved in any more of this shit unless somebody has something cool and very organized.
Oh, no, Korey, because you got burned, huh?
Well, misled.
You got misled to hang out at the mall.
Hang out at the fucking mall. Don't do this. Don't.
Be careful though, because you pissed off a lot of people talking shit about that one time. I knew a lot of people were pissed off about it.
You know what? I don't give a.
If that's how he treats fans, then we don't want him here.
You know what? No. You know what? Fuck him. I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I'm saying this right now because you weren't there and you don't know what happened and you don't have to live up to this.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck if people are mad at me or not.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I spent my fucking money.
Yeah.
To go to somebody's event because they asked me to go. So don't fucking call me an asshole. I'm not talking to you, but people
I know you're not talking to me.
I don't give a fuck if you get mad at me or not.
I know.
You know what? If you get mad at me, fucking leave. You ain't hurt my fucking world.
Right.
But don't ask me to I'm very, this is.
That's what I said. I said, look, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with that. I'm not getting involved in that. If they're like, why is Korey acting like that? If somebody invites him to a place and I'm like, I don't know.
The thing is, why did Korey agree to spend his money when he told people Korey spent his own fucking money, which was like over $200 to go somewhere because why? Because not because of that fucking mall, because somebody told me there was one 15-year-old kid whose parents took him an hour to get him to that fucking mall because he wanted to see me.
Right.
And I went ahead and bought that ticket right there and hearing that. Went on a plane and went there and didn't act like an asshole when I was there.
Right.
Was treated like an asshole by somebody who said I was scaring them when I was trying to be friendly. So fuck anybody out there who thinks that I'm wrong here. No, Korey was very fucking nice. Korey spent his fucking money and Korey was very generous to go see a fucking member out in Georgia. Don't everybody ever criticize me. I've been too nice to fucking people.
All right.
Been too fucking nice to
I
people.
Understand that, Korey, but I mean,
you know what? And then let me tell you something. I'd rather you fucking get off the site if you think I'm an asshole like that. I don't even want you here.
Yeah.
Because I've been too fucking nice to people.
No,
I spent 2 years spending my money, thousands of fucking dollars for people to come here and have a good time, spend money on people to have alcohol, fucking food, spend my time, and they're gonna call me a fucking asshole. If you think I'm an asshole, get the fuck off the site.
Dude, but you gotta, the thing is, I understand that. I'm very well aware of that.
Have motherfuckers come and stay at my house.
Yeah.
I've done everything.
You're not on trial. You're not on trial.
I feel like I'm on trial.
You're not on trial, though.
And I'm not talking to you.
No, I know you're not talking to me.
Don't ever fucking say I'm not a nice guy.
I know.
I've done too much for people out there, and I don't ever want to.
But I think if you present it in a way to where, look, this is what happened. It wasn't what I was expecting. And the thing is, if you're gonna invite me out, you can. I don't know what it is you look for when you're going out to these things. I'm like, hey, if somebody invites me somewhere, I'm cool with it. I understand. And you know what? The thing is, I don't have expectations that it's gonna be like this grandiose festival waiting for me to happen. I'm like, hey, you know what? If I have the money to spend and I'm just gonna go hang out with fans, I'll do that anyway. There's times when I go out just anywhere and somebody says, hey, I heard on the show you're coming to this place. Me and my buddies are gonna be hanging out. Come on by, we'll have it. We'll take you to a party or something. I'm like, hey, you know what? That's cool. You don't have to do that, but that's cool, and I'll show up. But I'm not expecting, and I'm not going to spend money on something that I just don't think is going to be like, it's going to be like this big bash, It's like somebody's inviting me somewhere. I appreciate it. That's nice.
Somebody should organize something. When you say I'm having a party somewhere, and you invite somebody out, and you build it that way, like, hey, we can take you around, we can show you this and that. That's the way you should go. But
you got to think though that a lot of these kids, they listen to this and people are talking about building these parties. Yeah, a lot of kids are going to go, you know what? I'm having a party. But they're kids. A lot of times, like they're kids who can't afford.
I was talking to someone who was 21 years old. And here's the deal. I know you want to be fair. I know you want to be nice. But no, some people need to be told. It's like when somebody flies out to see you and you saying you're having a party, you're inviting people out. I'm not even expecting a lot of people, and I'm not expecting like this big grand spectacle when we get there. I'm not.
Okay.
But if I go somewhere, and then I'm not even talking about this person through the party again. I'm beyond that. This is for anybody who does this. I'm not going to be made to feel like an asshole if I go somewhere and I got to speak my mind because I left town to go hang out at a fucking mall. I'm sorry if you think I'm an asshole for saying that, but you know what? There's a chance when I'm fair in some of the things I'm saying. I flew 100, over 100 miles. To get 100 miles ain't shit. I don't know how far Georgia is from here, but I flew, I guess the word here should be I flew several hundred miles.
I know what you're saying.
On a flight to get to hang out with somebody.
Right.
Meanwhile, here's the deal. Like I said, I went to a mall, and then on top of that, got told that I was scaring somebody. And I pretty much take offense because I was not scaring anybody. I was being as nice as I could to anybody who I'm nice around.
Right.
And, and I just don't appreciate the treatment. I don't appreciate the location. I don't appreciate the time being wasted. And if I'm wrong for that, you can think I'm an asshole. I don't think I am. I've been very nice to people. Been very, very nice to people.
Right.
Yeah, I've done things that nobody would do. I've been told I've done shit that's dangerous. I've been told I've done shit that's stupid. But I've always
argued,
true. And I've always argued with people. You know what I say? The thing is, people, they spend time on something that we do. I don't mind going out of my way for them.
Right.
And that's always been my attitude. So the one time I say something that people disagree with, you know what? If you don't like it, really, fuck off. I've earned the right to say that.
Right. Well, you have the right to say anything you want. The thing is that when it's just the way you present it.
The last time I did say that,
I'm sure people didn't think. Because when you were telling me that story, I'm like, I don't find that story shocking. I don't find like they wronged you in any way, by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, it just didn't happen as far as like the big party that they were saying. But you can't. How are you going to be able to know exactly what to expect out there?
That's what I'm saying right now. And I don't go to everything everybody throws, but this person said it would be kind of important if somebody showed up. That's the other thing. Like, hey, it'd be cool if somebody showed up. Yeah. I'll put in a lot of time into
You can afford it. You weren't sweating the price of it, right?
Well, you know what? I could afford it, but that's like over $200. That money that could have been spent somewhere else. And look, and I was honest about it. I said, hey, look, when I went there, I didn't just go for that party. I went to go to Atlanta. I had another friend there. So
I remember you saying that.
But you know what? I'd like I said, I know you like to be fair and you like to see both sides of things. I wasn't expecting like anything big, but like I said, there was less than expected. There's nothing wrong with that. When certain things are pitched a certain way and it doesn't come out that way, like I said, it could have been 3 people there. I wouldn't have been upset had we got to do something that I would like to do. I don't like to go somewhere, be told that we're going to like probably have this party, whether it be a party of 3 or a party of 3,000. Right. Go somewhere and all we do is sit in a fucking Ruby Tuesdays at the mall. At least take me to downtown. Show me something. At least let's hang out at a bar somewhere. Let's not have, a small dinner of 3 people and then everybody has to be picked up by their fucking dads. All right. That's. Like I said, I'm not going to argue with people. If they think that I'm wrong, then you know what? Fuck you. But I'm not. I'm not wrong here.
Right.
I've gone out my way for people, and I went out my way on this.
Right.
I wasn't expecting a whole lot. But what I got was anybody would have been disappointed had they showed up, told that there was going to be something cool there, and they ended up at a mall.
But you know what? But then again, that's a life lesson you just need to learn.
Lesson learned here.
There's been plenty of big events that I've been to that are a complete failure where I'm paying money for, and I'm going to be pissed off. Now, if I go in deliberately and somebody's pitching me an idea or something that I'm going to see and I don't get that, if I go to a show, a guy comes on the stage, plays for like 10 minutes, and I just spent like fucking $20 to pay for a 5-10 minute show, I'm going to be pissed, and I have every right to argue about it.
We would see some parts of Georgia, we go hang out at a bar somewhere or something there, I wasn't pitched something different. See, that's what I'm saying. I know you want to be fair and you want to be nice to members. There comes a point where bullshit is bullshit, okay? That's it. But
hey, you know what? That's a lesson for you to learn.
No,
honestly,
don't put this on me. It's not less on me to learn.
Well, I'm saying, this has happened before. If that was in my situation, I would just think, you know what? It wasn't what I expected, but they're fans. I can't hold them up to some, desire they have to, want to show me this grand thing. Like, they talk about it and they speak up, but they're fans. I can't hold them. I cannot hold anybody in that high regard.
Yes, you can.
At all. No, I don't. I don't do that. I don't.
You want to be a nice guy.
No, it ain't about being a nice guy. It's about being realistic. There's a difference.
That is being realistic. It's like, hey, you know what? You told me we're going to do something. We didn't do it. And like I said, I came here to sit with somebody for like 5 minutes.
You should have said, let's do. You guys want to hang out with Korey Coleman? Let's get in a cab. Let's just go. Let's go.
Again, it's a situation where you weren't there to see it.
Okay.
Everybody's being.
Well, I'm just saying.
People are being picked up by their parents.
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't go.
Right.
I was like, really? Everybody, and I'm not talking about the people that showed up that had to go. It's like, hey, you know what? If that's the case, but at least the host should have been like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're here. Let me show you something, and then we'll hang out a little bit longer.
All right.
To come there and be and hang out for a little while, and they're like, oh, I gotta go. My parents are picking me up.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not really even holding against this person. I'm more or less talking about the people who think I'm an asshole because I mentioned a case where I felt like, a little bit of my time was wasted.
Right.
I
don't think people are thinking you're a complete asshole about that.
And if they do, I really don't care.
I mean, yeah.
I'm past that point of thinking like, I'm not feeling guilty for every criticism that people give me. I know what I had to go through. I know what good things I've done. I know what bad things I've done. I know when I have the right to appropriately feel angry about something or feel inconvenienced. I feel like I have a right to complain. And that was one of those cases where I had that right to complain. I wasn't expecting anything big. I wasn't going there. And I didn't criticize anybody when I was there. I was nice. I was very nice when I was there.
Okay.
Probably nicer than I should have been.
Okay.
And I didn't.
But I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, honestly, when you say you were nicer than you should have been, what are you going to do? You're going to yell at them for inviting you out to hang out with them? I mean, really?
Did I? No, I didn't.
No. You're saying you just told me you were being way nicer than you should have been.
Well, yeah, I could have
explained that to me.
I could have said, so you're leaving. So you just brought me out here to hang out at the mall, and that's it. And and granted, I got there later on a Saturday, but we had the rest of Saturday to hang out.
Right.
It was like, okay, so that's it. I could have said that, but I didn't say that. It's like, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye. Yeah, I had a right to say something at the time. Yeah, I could have said something. I could have said a lot of things,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not wrong here, man. I know you want to see both sides. I'm not wrong here.
I'm not saying, yeah. I mean, you're telling me what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're trying to look at every angle of this and try to be fair and say, oh, there's both sides to this. No, there's no fucking two sides, okay? There's none. There's like me flying out there being nice. It was totally something different. And people listen to me and saying, oh, he's an asshole because he talks shit. Well, you know what? Had anybody else been in that position, I think they would have talked shit too. And like I say, I put myself out there. People think I'm an asshole. I really don't care. I'm really,
you shouldn't care.
I really am sick of like having to like be the nice guy and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have did this. And no, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
The whole point of this is to say, like, you're right. There was a lesson learned here. There was. I mean, it's like, if people do this, I didn't, and the thing is, at the time when I was talking, I was like, you know what? I didn't even mind going out there. I wasn't, the thing is,
you didn't. I remember when you're going.
That's what's pissing me off. It's like, I wasn't even complaining. I was joking around with it because it was something to talk about, but I wasn't even complaining about it. I was like, hey, I went, and I did have a good time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a wasted trip. I went out there and hung out with, what's her name, Ewok Princess, and we saw a lot of shit. I actually had a good time. I'm just saying, as far as anybody organizing anything,
I know she had a good time. She told me she had a good time.
Now, as far as anybody organizing anything, I don't think I'm wrong for telling people, hey, you know what? Maybe things should be a little more organized and we know what you're doing before we come out there. That's all. And the other thing is like I want to let people know, don't think I'm being too critical because I didn't go out there just for that party. But I don't mind saying, hey, have a little something more planned when people come out.
Okay.
I'm not going out there. If it wasn't for Ewok Princess being out there, for one thing, even if a kid had come out and said, I had, my dad brought me out here. I'm an hour away. I drove an hour to come here. Even then, if I didn't have anything else to do, I probably wouldn't have gone. Ewok Princess happened to be there. She said, we'll do this and do that. I'll show you downtown. So I had a contingency plan there. It wasn't nothing like I didn't have anything to fall back on.
Yeah. Because I remember you told me you were hanging out with her and you had a good time.
Not even mad at the girl that threw the thing. I'm not mad. I'm slightly offended. Like I said that, I was told that, I made a friend feel scared. I'm very offended by that. Nobody who flies out hundreds of miles to come see someone should be made to feel uncomfortable like that.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. I took my time out to do it. I considered the people that were out there. And I had a fallback plan, but half of that consideration was like, people did come out to see, whoever, all of us, if we could have come out. But since I was the only one who was available to go, they came out to see me, and I went, and that was part of my decision there.
Right.
So for anybody who thinks I'm an asshole about that, I got that ticket because I was told by Ewok Princess that somebody traveled an hour to come see me. And I bought that ticket right then and there. So no, I'm not an asshole, and I will not take insults like that, and I will defend myself to the fucking teeth, man. I don't care what people say. If you don't fucking like me, if you hear that story and think I'm an asshole, get the fuck out. Just leave me the fuck alone. I know I sound angry, but I'm very angry.
No, you are angry. Yeah.
I'm very angry when I hear that. I've had to go there with a personal friend of mine who says, I'm a fucking asshole, and I'm not going to take it from a group of people.
Yeah.
When I know I haven't done anything wrong to fucking hurt anybody.
Yeah.
So,
hey,
you know what?
stick to your guns. If that's how you feel, stick to your guns, man. So, but anyway, like I said, the guys from the Madness Hour, they are trying their best to come up with a film festival. They wanted to show some horror films, and I recommended that they show Creepshow, which would be a fucking fun film to watch.
That's a
at
great
the theater.
group film to watch, right?
I know, and I told them, I told them the time I was hanging out, we were fucking at this George Romero Fest that Alamo Drafthouse put together, and they showed Creepshow out on a big inflatable screen, and just how the crowd reacted was fucking amazing. I mean, the crowd acted like they'd never seen this movie before, and people were cheering and fucking just hollering and just having the greatest fucking time watching this film. It was like, to me, it's the ultimate party film. And I told them, if those guys can pull it to where they can show that at their Spill Hangout, that'd be fucking phenomenal. It'd be great. It'd be a lot of fun. I told them I'm going to do my best to show up, and because talking to these guys on that show, they're a fun group to hang out with. I mean, I actually enjoy listening to their show because they remind me a lot of my friends, and and they love bullshitting. And what the coolest thing about it is that we basically, they said this on their first show, we inspired them to do that show, and that's great hearing. So
that's good, man. No,
awesome.
I would like to go too. I would very much like to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, you are you're fucking invited.
Well, they sent me an email about it, and I said, hey, if you guys should organize that right. And here's the other thing too: we are not going to call anything. And this is the real thing here. I mean, and this has nothing to do with that Atlanta thing at all. But I just thought about it, and there's more people doing this kind of stuff. And we're not calling any kind of party an official spill anything until I fucking know that they actually pulling something together and they actually make it cool, and that it's they've actually planned things for a large number of people, 10 or more. And if that's the case, and we can show up, then we'll say that. If you're not doing that, we don't know what's happening. Then you know what? That's just a spill get together for you.
Yeah, and hey, if you want to hang out, if you want to do that, that's you have every right to. I mean,
they do that in New York right now. They get together. Yeah. I think people,
and that's cool. That's cool to know. It's cool to hear.
I think more people should do that. I think people should have these spill get-togethers on their own, get to know the members around their area. Yeah, and I think that's really cool.
It is.
Hey, it's just networking, really.
It is. No, you're right about that. Yeah. I mean, hanging out, it was really cool hanging out in Europe and seeing all the Spill fans hang out in London and see how, a lot of these guys that, are attracted to our site all have kind of the same interest. And I find that fascinating, especially when people start talking about what they're into. Somebody overhears it and go, hey, you're into that? I'm into this too. Maybe you should check out that. I mean, it's cool. It's cool being able to, find people who live, miles away from each other, who can bond, together with something as far as movies and music and,
well, that's what's cool about what Nick does. I mean, take a lesson from Nick Hodges. He was one of the first guys to do this, and this was a cool thing. Nick said, you know what? I know that a bunch of people will get together. I'm in a major city. There's a lot of people who are on the site. I know I can get a lot of people to come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan these events. I'm going to make sure that everybody coordinates, meet at a certain time. I'm going to promote it. I want to get your blessing on it and say, can we do this? And it's a very, it's just a very organized approach to doing something.
Right.
And I think with these guys that you're talking about here, they got the right idea. They started early. They're thinking about venues.
Yeah.
Now that is cool.
Yeah.
You want to call something like a party, organize early and do it right.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. From what I was told, they are, and it's going to be fun once it comes to fruition. So, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm sorry I went off.
No, I understand.
There's one thing
I understand, and I was joking. I know, but, then as soon as you went off, I realized, that is a touchy subject for you.
It's a very touchy subject.
And I understand.
And I apologize. I wasn't yelling at you.
Oh, no. Really, I understand you weren't
yelling at people
me.
out there who, really, I hold tight to what I'm saying, but I know what I'm wrong for doing, and I'm not a perfect person. I do a lot of things that are wrong.
No, we all do. We all do fucked up things, dude. No, don't worry.
And they're just things that I know, and I've been the person where I've kind of knocked myself out for like, whenever I got criticized, I was just like, I took the criticism, questioned myself, and that's what I still do that. There's been some things where I know that I've done things, and I've done things for other people. Just there was no self-interest here. I tried to be appreciative of people, and to be called an asshole for that's a very, very touchy subject.
Right.
I
know we got still tons more.
We got
we haven't even gotten into the whole plane crash. The goddamn
Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Tiger
about
Woods,
that dude, man.
Let's talk about somebody else who has some real.